And welcome to this video. I'd like to make a practice part shown in the lower right. Now this part has some angled features, and I think that the best way to make this is to create two planes that we can sketch on and extrude from. We certainly can do other means like make a sketch on another plane and cut around it, but I think for being fast, the easiest thing to do is to make these planes. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to start by sketching on the right plane, and I'm going to sketch this face out and then extrude this way. So with the right plane highlighted, I'll begin my sketch, and I see an origin feature in this corner. So I'm going to, for consistency, make that make the origin in that same corner. So let's make this vertical, and I'll keep and there's a real rough outline of the face that I want to sketch. Let's start adding the dimensions that we see. First off, we have an overall width of 200. Then we have a length here of 50. And this leg is 37.5. And then I have a distance here of 25. And then from end to end, we have a distance of 100. Now we have a depth of 10, and that's common among both legs, so I'll make that collinear. Now we have a height here of 25. We have a height here of 40. We have a 60 right here. And this appears to have a radius of 50. Now, we've got a coincident here that doesn't belong, so I'm going to get rid of that coincident. And we can tell that there is a dimension from the center of the arc down to what appears to be this ledge to be 45. So let's go ahead and add that. And with that, we'll fully constrain the sketch. So there's our height of 45. So let's extrude that, and the drawing tells us we have a width of 100. It's not necessary because we're not really symmetric, but I'll do mid-plane, and well, our origin is in the center, so instead I will blind it and switch the direction. So our origin is in the same corner as in this drawing. Now I'll sketch on this face. And notice we have a rectangular feature here. So I'm going to make a rectangle in this corner, but I'll use a corner rectangle instead. Give that a distance of 30, and you can tell right here we have a distance of 100. So 30 here and 100 here. And now I'll extrude, and I'll choose up to next. And there we are extruding up to the next. And now I can grab this plane. I'm sorry, this edge to make a plane, and I choose plane. Notice we have 150 degrees, and we're being referenced right on this face. So I'll select this face, and I'll choose in my angle here 150 degrees. And notice we're rising at the same angle as this plane is. So I'll begin sketching on this plane. I'm going to be level with this line. The reason being, if I'm level with this edge, I will have a little area without material in it as I extrude. And so I need to move this back to make sure that I have extruded completely. There we go. I'm going to add in this 3-point arc. Now I'm tangent here, so I simply make these lines equal length, and that forces the arc to be tangent on both sides. Now we have a dimension that references this circle center, and it is 50. So I'll change this dimension to 50. And there's our overall height. One mistake, I referenced the bottom of the sketch. And I need to reference this edge as the drawing references this edge. So I'll take this edge to the arc 50. There we go. Now I will do the same thing, extrude to next. In that case, I'll extrude to body as I'm not seeing to next, probably because my sketch is partially in the solid. And there is our extrusion. I'll hide my plane and simply sketch on this face. And there's my arc center. Notice my hole has a dimension of 15 in diameter. So I can add features and cut through all. Now I can sketch on this face and work on this cross-looking extrusion. So I'll sketch on this face, Control 8 to get normal. If you notice, this top line looks like it's on the curve section, whereas this line looks like it's on the straight section. So I need to put one line coincident to the curve and another line coincident to the straight. Because if I put both lines on the curve, then this line will keep following the curve on the end that it's coincident to. And so if I try to slide the line down, it won't be correct. Now, I'll make this upper end. Maybe I'll just make 2 of the 4 sections for now. I can add a center line. It'd be easiest to run from here to here. Now since these are unequal length, I don't want to snap it to the ends because then my center line won't be vertical. And I can't snap it to the midpoints because they won't be horizontal, or the same length rather. So I'll snap it to the endpoints here and make it vertical. Now I can select midpoint, and I cannot seem to select the arc center point, so I'll go to my sketch and add in a point. Now I can select midpoint and say horizontal. Likewise, select midpoint, vertical. Now I can add a 3-point arc, and I'm going to do a center point arc and run it from here. It doesn't seem to want to grab on, so I'll merge these 2 points. Now our drawing gives us a dimension on this, a diameter of 25. So if a diameter of 25, that gives me a radius of 12.5. So I'll smart dimension in a radius of 12.5. I also have a distance of 10 according to my drawing here, and I can add that dimension on here as well. Of course, because I have some construction lines, I can have better design intent to put an equal relation right here. I can constrain it the same way but with fewer dimensions. So if I go to update this, it updates over here as well. So I'm going to keep on doing that pattern. One arc on the curve, one arc on the straight. And now I can make these horizontal. Again, horizontal. And here's the center point arc. And finally, two lines down here. Again, constraining the same way that I have. And I'll merge these points. And I don't know how that snapped on there, but we appear to be fully constrained. So to close the surface, I'll add lines on the top and bottom. Actually, just a line on the bottom. And here we're on a curve. So to make sure that we cut everything we need to cut, I'm going to make a 3-point arc and make it horizontal, which will be our point of tangency on this arc. And then I can make a straight line. Likewise, a center point arc, and I'll make this horizontal. Add in a line, and finally center point arc along this top curve. Looks like my center point arc went awry, so I'm going to add a 3-point arc instead. And now we're closed. So I'll make this tangent. And now we're ready for an extruded cut. We cut to a depth of 5. This drawing is in millimeters and I'm in inches, so I'm going to live with the fact that it's 25.4 times larger than it should be. I don't want to change my units, just for this example. Okay, we are finished with this feature. The last thing that we have is this diagonal surface down here. I will select this edge, create a reference geometry, plane, and I'll make an angle of that. Notice the angle called out is 160 degrees. And now the plane appears to be at a very similar angle as this ramp. So I'll sketch on this plane. And it's quite a simple feature. And now we can add the dimensions. We have a distance of 15. And a width of 50. And now we have an overall height of 40. Now, I need to extrude that before I add those circles. So I'll go ahead and do a features, extrude, and now I should be eligible to do an up to next. There it is. And there we've extruded to the next feature. I can hide this plane. It is no longer necessary since I have a face here. And I'll sketch on this. Well, I don't need to edit this sketch, but I in turn will sketch on this face. I have two circles, and there's my arc center. And I have an inner radius of 12, or an inner diameter I should say, and an outer diameter of 25. Now I extrude this to a distance of 15. Hit Control 7, and I appear to look exactly as the part that we have presented here. I hope this was very helpful. If it was, please subscribe, as that's the best way to help me back. And I'll see you in the next video.